Alright, this is my police officer rant. I hate cops. So, if you hate cops like I do, you will love this video. And if you don't, then you'll probably hate them by the time I'm done with this. Okay, I've had a lot of run-in with cops. Okay, I've never been arrested, thank God, because I'm smart, I know my rights, I don't like to be fucked with. Cops are constantly fucking with people. They're always abusing their power. Most cops I know were the bullies in high school. They were the jocks. They were the total assholes. Very few of them were nerds that want revenge on the world, so they'd be a cop for that reason. But, you know, they don't do it to help people. I never seen a good cop. Well, maybe 1 in 100 cops, let's say, and they're half decent. It's not like they're great. They're just on a level that's more human, but cops are a total abuse of power, and I'm tired of seeing it. I see it in the headlines. I see it on YouTube. I watched 4 hours of videos last night, just constantly seeing this stuff going on. And yeah, you know, there's always probably going to be a corrupt group within a crowd, but it seems like a majority of them are corrupt. And, you know, they're kind of conditioned to be that way because they're always power-hungry control freaks that are cops. It's always the case. And the minute you deny an officer, whether you're within your rights or not, just because you denied an officer anything, a search, anything, any request that he has of you, the latest one being in the news that he requested she put out her cigarette, and she said no, and she was within her rights. And now a woman is dead because of that. You know, really, in reality, it all spiraled from there. And personally, I think it was a total cover-up. She had epilepsy, and they did a false arrest, and he injured her, and I think she died in the back of the squad car. And they just freaked out. Luckily for the cop, his boss was a total racist, convicted racist. So anyways, you know, they made it look like she died of a suicide in jail 3 days later, when I think she arrived dead there. And they took a picture of her and photoshopped her eyes. I'm a Photoshop guru. I could easily turn that picture where her eyes are rolled back into one where it's not. Easy. No problem. And you would never know. I do it all the time. I tweak my eyes. You know, you get a cock eye or something in a picture and you want to fix it because otherwise it's a great picture. Anyways, just another classic example of cops abusing their power. She told him no. He threw a fit just like they always do. I've had guns drawn on me because I refused an order. And people get scared, and they're within their rights as a human to be scared. And they're nervous around cops, and cops take that as they take that and abuse that authority too, where they realize you're scared and you'll follow orders, and they say, this is a lawful order. I hate that fucking term. There's no lawful order if it's a false arrest or if it's a false anything. And, you know, there's so many things I've seen that were just so fucked up. Like, I've seen cops beat somebody that wasn't resisting, and the whole time they're saying, stop resisting, because they're trying to stage it like the guy was fighting back, and he wasn't. The cop just wants to unleash hell on people. It's a great way to be a bully in real life and get away with it. Because you can't just go beat somebody up if you're a civilian. You get arrested for assault and battery. And if you don't know, assault is the intent to harm, which is still a crime, and a lot of cops do that. They assault people. They intend to harm them, and it's a false reason. Now, there's maybe a handful of cases where a cop thinks that somebody's drawing a gun or something, and what I understand in that respect that cops sometimes make bad decisions. A quick snap decision, and they pull out their gun and shoot the guy 20 times, and he was reaching for a pacifier for his baby or something. This shit happens all the time. But I can understand that a little bit more than all these other videos where cops just blatantly kill somebody and they obviously don't have a weapon. I've seen a ton of these videos on YouTube. You look them up, they're fuck with you. Because it happens all the time. And maybe a handful of times I'll say, you know, maybe the cop was rash in his decision, but, you know, from my perspective, I would have feared for my life as an officer. But most of the time it's not. They're just gun-happy, trigger-happy rednecks with, you know, racial issues, you know. I love this term I found, DWB, which is driving while black. That's totally true. I've been DWH, driving while hippie, because, you know, I got my long hair, and obviously I must smoke pot, you know, or whatever. I'm actually a medical professional. Yeah, I've dabbled and whatever, but it's still bullshit to sit there and just, you know, basically go after somebody based on looks, and then they create a reason later, post whatever. They create reasons, well, I pulled them up for this and that, and it's always initially bullshit. And that's not legal, people. You stand up for your rights. Turn on your fucking cell phone camera, just like I'm doing now. Turn it on and record everything, even if you're guilty, because you still have rights. I hate hearing people say, oh, well, you know, that lady that was smoking, she should just follow the cops' orders. She didn't have to, and yeah, if you just want to fucking be a little submissive bitch, then sure, do whatever you want. But you have rights. You have rights, people. Jesus. Don't just do what they tell you because of the sake they're doing it. That's such bullshit. You know, that's what we live in, such a freaking, you know, totalitarian government, where people just do whatever because, you know, someone says to do it, and that's bullshit. You shouldn't do that. If someone jumped off a bridge, would you do it if someone forced you to? Fuck, I wouldn't. I'd rather die by, you know, somebody else's hand than to do it myself, you know, following some order. It's just so stupid. So, you know, people, be smart. Bring your cell phone cameras. Record everything. You know, and know your rights. You know, the first one is you don't have to step out of your car unless they have a reason. Cops love to pull you out of your car because, you know, it exacerbates the issue where they can more likely find some issue to screw you on later and say, oh, well, blah, 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 blah. You know, you don't have to roll down your window all the way either. That's another funny one I like. You don't have to roll it down your window all the way. You roll it down just enough to give me information. And they're always going to say, roll it down all the way. Well, you say I'm within my rights not to, but make sure you're recording because I'm telling you people, these cops are hot-headed meanies and they will fuck you up if you start resisting. And if you can't record it or tape it, don't bother trying to be within your rights. Just be submissive in that respect because he could shoot you dead. And who's going to argue for your case when you're dead? Or, you know, even if it goes before a court, you know, cops are fucking dirty. They stick up for each other. We've seen this time after time. So don't expect another cop there to save your ass. I've seen it maybe once where a cop stepped in and was like, you know, hey, this officer's being abusive, and they pulled the guy off of somebody, and they were like, dude, chill the fuck out, man. This person's not even armed. You're just being a typical cop, hot-headed, control-hungry, can't take no. And these are the kind of fucking assholes that fucking beat their wives and shit. It fucking sickens me, the type of people the cops are. It's a special breed of people that happen to have badges. It's not like these people have badges and there's some that are like this. It's a majority, folks. They're all like this. I'm total pro dash cam. There's been so many good cases that finally got seen where, you know, these cops are being forced to wear a camera on the badge that they abuse so well. They're forced to, and that's great because I want a judge to sit there and make the call on whether it was right or wrong. And if there's a lawyer present, then even the judge can't lean towards the cop because the lawyers are well versed on the laws too, and they know, wait a minute, this is bullshit. You can't arrest somebody for resisting arrest. That's a total redundant statement. That makes no sense. You shouldn't be being arrested in the first place. Like the lady with a cigarette. That officer had no right to arrest a lady on a cigarette, you know. So, in short, know your rights. Don't let cops screw with you, and record everything. God, you know, I love this digital era that we live in. Other countries have really gone far with it. We haven't yet. There are countries where they videotape fucking everything, and you know what? You got nothing to hide. Good or bad, civilian or cop or military, then you got nothing to worry about. But if you're being shady and you're abusing the power, you should be reprimanded for that. You know, I hate cops think that they're above the law because nobody's policing the cops. You ever see a cop get pulled over? Well, I have, but it's rare, okay? And a lot of times the cop that was in the riot pulls somebody over, gets fired or suspended. Look that up. That happens all the time. You know, because they don't want any kind of tattletale whistleblower within their own system. And that's wrong, you know. If I wasn't an actor or a model, I would fucking be a lawyer or work for internal affairs or both. I would make it my life's work to unveil these cops for what they really are, which is, you know, do the research. You'll see what I'm talking about.